Live and direct. It's Sway in the morning.
Right here on Shade 45.
Scot Wolf just walked in here, man.
Swoop.
What's happening in here?
How you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. How you
Good to
doing?
meet you, man. You look
too,
just like you do on the screen.
Yeah, it's getting a little freakish. I look a little younger than I am.
Yeah, what do you... There's a few ways that people stay looking young.
Yeah.
Some people drink baby blood.
Yeah.
You ever do that?
I have not yet done that, no.
You never done that?
No, what are the other ways?
Collagen?
Nope.
You never done that?
No.
Lot of conolingus. You ever?
Guilty.
Guilty. There it is. That's the key to success right there.
Spread the word. I didn't say that. I did.
Scott, let's have the B right here.
Hi.
you
Nice to
doing?
see you. I'm good.
Tracy G over there.
Tracy, how are you?
I'm good.
Good.
Have the B was on Real World.
Yes.
Hi.
My wife.
I know.
Yeah. You see that connection? You see
I do.
how smooth that was?
That was.
What was?
What season were you were
One.
on one? Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I actually I fell in love with this show before I fell. My wife wasn't on until I don't know what season it was, 8 or 9.
Yeah.
New Orleans.
New
right?
Orleans.
Yep,
New
yep,
Orleans.
yep.
But it's funny because I had seen her long before we ever met. I had seen the show, and I was living in LA at the time, and I was working and dating, but not finding anything that was meaningful. And I saw this. I was watched her on the show, and she was just in the kitchen laughing with somebody about something. It wasn't any big deal of a scene. And I was like, where's that girl in my life? She just seems so lovely. I mean, she was beautiful, obviously, but she just seemed fun.
Sweet,
and
nice.
Sweet, and and cool. And so, a few years later, a mutual friend set us up. We were both living in New York City at the time, and went on kind of a blindish date. We sort of knew what each other looked like, but we had never met. And it was love at fifth sight. I think on the fifth date.
Fifth
date, we found love. Yeah.
We have U.S. Attorney Donnie Ryan is with us right now,
Yep.
a.k.a. Scot Wolf. I know him as Bailey, but you want to change your name on us, And it's interesting. We were discussing how with this show that the way they air it and schedule it now is different. It's as a sign of the times, right?
Absolutely, yeah. The day, even going back to Party of Five or the first season of The Real World, people had to sit down and watch it when it was on.
Yeah.
And there was no website to catch it. There was no iPhone to watch it on. And so, the days of having a riveted audience sitting exactly when your show premieres every night and every week throughout the season are past. And so it's grown harder and harder to find an audience and to keep an audience. And that's, one of the things that a show like Perception does is, so tomorrow night is the premiere of this winter season of 4 episodes. So for the next month, the show will be on. And then season 3 premieres in the summertime. And what TNT has found is in this, current climate, people don't want to sit around for 8-9 months without seeing an episode of a show that they love. Yeah. And so they've found this way to kind of spread it around through the year. And I think you're going to see a lot more of that. And frankly, as somebody who makes a living doing television, I myself know, it's fun to watch shows on your own schedule.
Yeah, on your own time. Plus, you got kids, man. So, how old are your kids?
I got a almost 5-year-old. I got a 15-month-old, and we're having a third in May. We're bananas.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to ask you about. With you being in television and your wife television, would you mind if your children decided to go into the entertainment industry?
The quick answer is no, because I feel like we wanna raise our kids up to be who they are and do what they're gonna love to do in this lifetime. Knowing the landscape and a lot that goes into it, and with where social media is today, when my kids are old enough to be at work, God only knows what the world's going to look like and what people will be subjected to. So, I want them to have a great, long, prosperous life and be happy. And if doing this kind of work is going to make them happy, I want them to do it. I hope. The pendulum swings, right? It's and so I hope, they catch a good swing if they're going to do any of this.
Yeah, and they can make a lot of money. You don't have to work so hard.
That'd be good.
That's what I'm investing in my daughter's career right now. Same reason. Trust me. I don't want to do this. All right, go ahead, Tracy.
Lord. All right, so I'm thinking about from Party of Five and how the television has changed. The entire landscape has just completely morphed up until now because reality TV has pretty much taken over.
Sure.
But then there are a lot of people who use that platform but then end up going into scripted shows or having their own talk shows or having their own movies.
Yeah.
As a certified actor, does that bother you at all?
Not really. I mean, look, talent is talent is talent. And, you watch a show like, The Voice or any of these kind of talent shows right now, and you get these people who are like, like baristas in, Iowa. And all of a sudden you're like, what? You sing like an angel and you're going to be a huge star. And that person deserves it. And so I love, good people and talent finding their way to the top, no matter where that comes from. There was a time, years ago when I think when reality television was beginning, where, almost by nature you had to kind of despise it, because it seemed like, well, it's a threat to our living, our living, and obviously scripted television went through a difficult time because unscripted stuff is a lot less expensive to make and people really love consuming it. But at the end of the day, I feel like, I love seeing talented people get opportunity, and wherever that opportunity comes from is worthwhile.
You never obviously watch Basketball Wives of L.A., huh? No? Have you seen that?
I haven't seen
You haven't seen that. Okay, why don't you go watch that?
And then we'll answer that question
Then answer
again?
that question after that. Now, let me ask you this. Scot Wolf is here, 888-742-3345. Your wife came from TV. Is it a different approach for you, or was it a different approach, approaching her as a woman differently from being that she came from TV than someone who didn't work in the business at all? I mean, because you don't get a little,
Well,
nervous?
Yeah. Well, it worked both ways. Like for me with her, even though I hadn't seen a lot of her, I had seen her.
Yeah.
Right. And so there was this perception in my mind that perception. See how
That
I worked
perception
it
worked out.
Size
I
it
said,
in.
man, that's
tomorrow
good.
night at
That's
10
good.
on TNT.
Bomb.
But also, because she had been in and around it at all, she didn't have her reaction to me being an actor and having known who I was different than a person who hadn't worked in the industry at all, and there was just this relaxed thing. She was looking at me. She wasn't looking at Bailey or me on TV or have any kind of misconceptions. And so in a way, it's made our life, it's kind of perfect. She has just enough kind of awareness about the whole thing that she gets the joke and none of it throws her. And she's, my biggest supporter. And she's,
She's still in love,
she's
man.
just the
This
greatest
guy,
thing
man.
that ever has.
Give him a
She
hug.
is, man.
There it is.
Well, I gotta say, we're coming up on our 10th anniversary,
Yeah.
and I am as madly in love with this woman as I was on day one.
Wow, we're looking at a picture of you guys right now, right? She doesn't get on your nerves at all, huh?
No.
Okay, great, good. good.
Was there too much of a pause?
That was a long pause. Well, you're gonna have a night of explanations
I have
for
to
sure.
answer for that.
You got to
that
answer for that.
No, you know what? Like every relationship, what I can say is we get along as well as any two people I've ever known.
Yeah.
But marriages are work.
Yeah.
And it takes a constant. Thankfully, she's an amazing partner and she's super smart emotionally and psychologically. So she keeps us way on track. And she's beginning a career actually as a life coach. So I get kind of in-house coaching and
good.
therapy.
Does she invoice you?
She not yet.
Okay.
But I pay in
Other ways.
yeah.
Bedroom ways.
Bedroom ways. Okay,
Bedroom
wow.
ways.
Damn, that's Tracy G, by the way. Scott, man, thank you for coming by, brother.
Thank you so
man.
much.
It's good to
Thank
see
you,
you, man.
thank
I feel
You're listening to Sway in the morning
on Shade 45.